Thank you for coming again to watch another student success interview. Today we have Ricardo Sanchez. He is a student at Contra Costa College, majoring in mechanical engineering. And you may also know him as the Associated Student Union President at Contra Costa College. So thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so let's jump right in. Could you introduce yourself and tell us more about you?
Okay. My name is Ricardo Sanchez, like you said. I'm originally from Mexico. I migrated to the US when I was 10, and I've been here ever since. I'm the first one in my family to go to college and, you know, keep trying to keep going, keep it going.
Got it, got it. Amazing. I'm glad that you're here and sharing your story today.
Thank you.
So, how did you end up choosing Contra Costa College?
Well, it was a decision made of like desperation. Like I said, I'm from Mexico, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, I came to the U.S. As an undocumented student.
Got
So in high school, I had good grades. You know, it was until my senior year of high school when I realized that um, my status was gonna be a actual challenge for me to go to college.
Mhm.
You know, I applied to all these UCs, to all these CSUs, but then uh I didn't have no resources to know how what to do with that information, you know. I
Mhm.
got accepted to the CSUs, to some UCs, but then I'm like, I don't know where I'm gonna get the money, and
Mhm.
especially since I'm undocumented, is it gonna cost more? So there was no
Yeah.
resources for me. um and in high school, for some reason, like professor would shame you, but what teacher would kind of shame you. You go to like a community college, they're like,
Yep.
oh, that's like going to high school all over again. But then I came with the mentality is like, it doesn't matter where you go, it's what you do there.
Mhm.
um and that's why I arrived to Contra Costa College. My road hasn't been easy. It's definitely not high school.
Mhm.
uh, so definitely I had to put in the hard work and to make sure that I was on track and you know keep my dream going of becoming an engineer.
Definitely, definitely. So, could you tell us more about any of your experiences at CCC and how it sort of helped you guide you where you want to be and what you want to do as a career?
Yeah, definitely. Uh, well, uh, at the time when I came to college, I was still a little bit afraid of coming out as undocumented because there was
Mhm.
a big stigma about
Mhm.
being undocumented. But then I started taking all these classes like um, Chicano studies, African American studies, and that kind of empowered me to get out of my comfort zone and actually step out and make sure that my voice is being heard and make sure
Mhm.
that I'm in a position where I'm able to succeed. Um, and one of those times that somebody actually helped me a lot was during because I'm a STEM major. CCC has this program at it's called the STEM Center, where
Mhm.
you can go and you can get mentored by somebody. And the person that mentored me was his name is Rodney Wilson. He was one of the mentors there, and it was one of the only times that I felt like my status didn't matter, um, because at the time I was working full time, paying for my classes, because I didn't know I can get financial aid. I was struggling working full time and going full time to class,
Mhm.
and my grades were struggling. So, you know, at that point, I felt like it's even worse to continue going to college. Um, and then Rodney just opened so many doors for me. He helped me out, fill out my financial aid, so I didn't have to pay for classes. He helped me out my EOPS, so I didn't have to pay for books and things like that.
Mhm.
So, and it was such a he opened so many doors for me, and I'm thankful that I'm here in the position that I am as ASU president. Being a part of the leader in the community, because I have more time in school,
Mhm.
and I'm able to not work 40 hours a week and then still
Yeah.
have to do full time classes. So definitely that helped me a lot.
Definitely. Um, if you were to look back at your time at CCC, were there any other like big moments that really stood out to you, maybe with your mentor or anything, or any classes?
With classes, definitely my engineering courses because like before that I was just taking English, math,
Mhm.
and other things, and I'm like, this is I felt like I was wasting my time, but it was until I started taking like my engineering courses that I'm like, oh my god, I love this. One of the professors that I had was Mel Horn. She no longer works here. She works at
Okay.
NASA now. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. But she was one of the people that saw something in me that I didn't see myself. Because again, I was working full time, and she saw that I was really good at her class, but I worked like from 6 in the morning to 4, and then I'll have to go to class at 5. So I
Mhm.
would come out to class burnt out from work and wouldn't be able like to fully pay attention. But she saw a potential in me that I didn't see myself. She told me that that the school was really important. Her being an immigrant herself, and she
Mhm.
went to DVC also. She said that it was hard for her also, but
Mhm.
um, that at the end of the day it was worth it, and obviously it was worth it for her because she works in NASA. So,
Yeah.
so definitely that was one of the experiences that that I'm really thankful for having those people in my life that kept pushing me, and because when I came to this country, you know I didn't have nothing for myself. I didn't have like a goal or anything.
Mhm.
I was just here. I was 10, so I was just still a kid. But the reason that I'm still fighting, I still continue to work hard is because of my parents. They gave a huge sacrifice, to bring me to this country, and
Mhm.
I'm really thankful for that, and I don't want to let them down, and I want to make sure that I'm still making them proud with all the hard work that I do.
Based on what I've heard, you're doing them proud, Ricardo.
Thank you.
So I know that you did mention that being undocumented, it was a big struggle, especially just
Yeah.
saying that you are undocumented and like having very limited resources. So, uh, especially during the pandemic or anything, like what challenges did you face and how did you overcome them?
Um. Well, the pandemic has been, I feel like, really difficult to all of us.
Yeah.
Um. Definitely. I had a. I didn't have to. I didn't lose my job. I'm really thankful for that, but my
Yeah.
mom did. So
Mhm.
I had to step a little bit more to help out my parents.
Mhm.
Uh, help them just with bills and things like that.
Yeah.
So that was really difficult, and also like this Zoom has been really difficult for me. I'm like a really active person in campus,
Mhm.
so I used to be there from 8 in the morning to 5 o'clock. From
Wow.
classes, working at the food pantry, being part of a student government. I was there all the time doing something, and here I am, like in my house. I just had to literally get up from bed to my desk to be in Zoom.
Mhm.
Write some notes, and it really has been really challenging us to do that. And it did get me burnt out like at the beginning of the semester.
Mhm.
um actually in the beginning of the semester I thought I was gonna drop. Unfortunately, my grandpa passed away,
Oh,
and
sorry.
it was really difficult for me, and I didn't want to do school, or I just didn't want to think about anything at that time.
Mhm.
And I've been trying to, to get my feet back in the ground to make sure that I'm still doing school, because like
Mhm.
I feel like that was what my grandpa wanted, because but he passed away in Mexico, and me being
Oh,
undocumented, I wasn't even able to go to say my last goodbyes, or
yeah.
even get to see him getting buried. So um that always hits home. And I'm just trying to make my family proud and just continuing the hard work that I do. And the pandemic has been a challenge, but I feel like as a family, me and my family has that have been stuck together,
Mhm.
and we working on it.
That's great to hear. I'm glad that you're constantly pursuing your goal and just working for your family too. Yeah, family is definitely very central to a lot of students. So yeah, thanks for mentioning that. Let's see. What piece of advice would you give other community college students who may be working to strive for their career goals?
So definitely, never be afraid to ask for help. I think that was one of the biggest mistakes I did coming into college,
Mhm.
because I thought I was a know-it-all. I thought, I know how to do everything.
Yeah.
And definitely I wasn't. It wasn't the case. Uh, and it wasn't until I asked for help where a lot of doors were open for me,
Mhm.
and I was able to commit fully to school, making sure that my grades were okay. Um, and being active on campus, I think that's the part that I enjoyed the most, you know um, being part of something, being the voice of something. Before I was the ASU president, I was the president of a club. So
Mhm.
I was always doing something on campus to try to make it a little bit better, uh, because, like I said, being undocumented has not been easy. And one
Mm,
of the things that I have fought since like I got out of my comfort zone was to make sure all other undocumented students on campus have those resources that I had, that
yeah.
helped me push me to fully commit to school. So
Mm,
definitely that's one thing that I have been fighting for a while. And administrators talk to me. I'm like, if you ask anyone at CCC who's the go-to guy where they ask them about like resources for undocumented students, it's literally me. So so I'm still there helping, even if when I transfer out, which is oncoming. I must still be here to help other students, because
That's great.
I feel like a lot of the times for in the undocumented community, the resources just leave. Once the person
Mm,
leaves that institution, their resources leave with them,
mhm.
and I want to make sure that those resources are institutionalized in my college.
That's great. I'm glad that you're willing to go far for the community, even beyond when you leave CCC. So that's great that we can trust someone like you. So my very last question is a fun question. What do you like doing outside of work and school?
Definitely hang out with my classmates. Definitely. Me, I have my two classmates that we have similar majors.
Mhm.
We all have engineering majors, so
Okay.
we like take the same class and thing like that. So
Mhm.
literally just hanging out with them or hanging out with my family.
Mhm.
Uh, Recently, before the pandemic, we started like going camping and things like
Oh
that. So
wow.
yeah, I think that's one of the things like. Now my family has never done, but then
Uh-huh.
when once we did it, they wanted to do it like the next month and the next month. So definitely doing that. And yeah, just hanging out with my family and friends.
That's great. That's great. Camping does sound very, very fun, especially with the pandemic. It's great social
Oh, definitely
distancing
right now.
activity. Yeah. Well, yeah, those are all the questions I have. Thank you again, Ricardo, for being here. And to the audience, just thank you for watching all these videos. We have a lot more coming to you, and we're excited to be sharing more student success stories. So we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.